Johanna wraps something up in a sheet before throwing it in the trash. In the meantime, her daughter Claire rides her bicycle about the neighborhood with her dog Max. On coming home, Claire searches to find her mom and screams when she finds out that Johanna had self-deleted in the attic. A long time after, teenage Claire wakes up, having had a dream of her mother being killed. She rides a bicycle to school and only stops to greet her uncle August. As she swerves her bicycle to get him the paper, she nearly gets run over by mean girl Darcy and her equally mean friends. They tease her, and she bangs herself on the garbage cans and cuts her knee. Back at school, Claire sees her father Jonathan dumpster diving with his friend Carl. Embarrassed, she sends them away. Jonathan notes that they are over the road and not at the actual school, yet the students can see them and are already whispering about her. Jonathan questions her about her knee cut, and when he learns that she came to see August, he rebukes her because they should not speak to him. Class does not respect that order and eventually persuades him that he should go. Then Claire goes out with her friends June and Meredith to install a banner that they have created. One boy risks capturing a photo of the rear of Claire and Darcy, throws a drink on the banner and destroys it. Claire is saddened also to see that her crush Paul has a new girlfriend. In class, Ryan attempts to tell Claire he liked the banner, but all she can do is be attracted to Paul. Meanwhile, Jonathan and Carl are dumpster diving at the cemetery when Jonathan finds a beautiful old box. No, he is unable to open it, but chooses to retain it. Darcy overhears Claire and her friends at lunchtime, and they are laughing at her, and she takes them to task in front of the entire population. According to Claire, she referred to Darcy as the ultimate smegma, a groin secretion that is produced by both men and women. Darcy smacks her on the insult, and Claire smacks her right back, prompting Darcy to push her on the floor. A furious Claire retaliates by tackling Darcy and initiating a fight on top of a table. The fight is cheered by all the students, and as the girls roll about the floor, there is no indication of the fight ending. A grown-up must drag Claire off, and as Darcy attempts to attack her once more, Paul picks her and carries her out of the cafeteria. As Claire walks home, Jonathan tells her that he has her an early birthday present, but Claire is not excited. She sees the package on the bed and opens it and finds the pretty box. It has some Chinese writing on it, which she can translate to mean 7 wishes, but she does not open it. This afternoon, Claire learns that Darcy had filmed the fight, but not how she began it, so everyone sides with her in the comments. And she even left a photo of Jonathan dumpster diving, and now people refer to Claire as Garbage Girl. Bearing in mind that the box had 7 wishes, Claire picks it up and wishes Darcy to go rot. It is at this point that she hears Max at the door and opens it to him, who then declines to enter the room, growling at the box. During the night as Claire sleeps, the box opens and plays some music. Claire is not comfortable and never wakes up, and the box does it automatically. Darcy wakes up after a sleepover with some friends and visits the bathroom, but finds her legs rotting. When she checks in the mirror, she even screams at the rotting that shows up on her face as well. The sound alert her friends and they all take photos. The photos become viral later in school and everybody mocks Darcy. Claire takes a picture of the box when she arrives home so that she can know more about the box. It is at this time she notices that she has not seen Max in a long time. She ventures out in search of him and tracks a sound beneath the deck. Something then drops, and Claire is horrified to find it is the body of Max being devoured by rats. Then Jonathan and Carl take Max and Claire away to bury them, as the dog was a gift of her mother. The following day, Claire takes her box pictures to her Chinese teacher to ask him what she was unable to comprehend about the words, but he tells her that this is ancient Chinese, and so she will have to question a scholar. Ryan hears this and informs her that he has a cousin who can help her, but she rejects him. In the evening, Claire writes a post to Max. She is stopped by Meredith sending her a message to look at Paul on social media. Once Paul looks at the photos, Claire takes the box and hopes that Paul falls in love with her. The following morning, Paul does not even think about his girlfriend and speaks to Claire. As the box opens to play its music, August is bathing. Sadly enough, he falls and strikes his head in the tub and dies in the process. On coming home, Claire hears on the news of the death of August, and Jonathan tells her that it is good riddance. As the family ignored him all his life, he does not believe August left them anything. Then Claire attempts to head to her room and stumbles over some of the stuff her dad salvaged, so she shouts at him to stop bringing rubbish to the home. Frustrated by being poor, Claire dashes to her room and takes the box to hope August will will her everything. A little later, Jonathan receives a call telling him that August has willed his fortune to Claire. The family instantly relocates to August in his fancy house, and Claire receives a new phone and a new car of her own. She takes her friends out to buy nice clothes, have a makeover, and nibble snacks. It is the new look that Paul sees. One evening, Claire is astounded to find the box playing music. In the meantime, the old neighbor of Claire is disposing her garbage and hears a strange sound emitted by a machine. She switches it off so she could have a closer look, but she does not see anything. anything, so she switches it back on again, only to have her braid get entangled in it. The machine is dragging her down, she cannot touch the button once more, and her head is cut off eventually. The neck of the woman falls on the rim of the disposal and is broken, and her neck kills her. The day after that, Jonathan reveals to Claire that he has located some of the old paintings that Johanna used to create. Claire fears that she will become her mother, and Jonathan has assured her that he will take care of her to ensure that does not happen to her. A few minutes after, Claire sees Jonathan playing the saxophone, which he had not played since the death of Johanna. This is an attempt on his part to move on. Claire has continued to dream about the box that night. She suddenly wakes up and sees a shadow walk around. She goes out to look, but she fails to notice anyone. The following day, Paul also splits with his girlfriend and asks Claire out right away, but she adds that she will consider it. She then goes online to find the box symbols, but cannot locate any data, and hence she is left with no option but to get Ryan to assist her. Ryan and Claire share their first grade memories and the fact that they believe in the multiverse on the way to visit his cousin. They eventually meet with Gina, who believes that box is some sort of Chinese wish pot. You are meant to embrace your wish on a piece of paper and place it in the pot and watch it come true. Gina deciphers the text when she sees that it is going to give her 7 wishes, and it has rules. To make the wish maker will have to touch the box, and once the box is lost, all the wishes made will be undone. There is the name of Lu Mei in the box as well, so they search on it and find an ancient legend. The bubonic plague conquered China, and the family of Lu Mei was suspected to be infected in 1910. That is why they were placed under quarantine in a train car. All the family perished on a heat stroke and dehydration except Lu Mei. Her desire was revenge, hence she took the most treasured thing in the family, a music box, and went to a temple with it. She fasted 7 days and 7 nights praying until a demon responded. Then Lu Mei grew rich and reduced all her enemies to defeat. 11 years afterwards, she committed suicide with opium. The box has some sentences on it. One of them tells that something will occur after the music is over, and Gina is not able to translate the other. She makes a few photographs of the box and vows to speak to a scholar friend. Claire finds out Jonathan still dumpster dives on his way home, yells at him, and does not listen to his explanation of the matter. Being at home, she takes the box in her hand to hope that her dad was not so embarrassing. On this particular night, Jonathan is presented as an attractive saxophone player that June likes. Meanwhile, Gina gets an email of her friend about the translation of the entire box and believes it is messed up. It is at this time the box is opened and a storm cuts off the power in her apartment. Gina walks to the balcony to get a better signal and leaves a message on the phone of Ryan that the text inside the box is spooking her. The door suddenly shuts behind her and makes her drop her phone, thus she goes back to her apartment. Due to this darkness, she falls over the carpet and falls on a statue of a bull that stabs her with his horn, killing her immediately. On the following morning, Ryan is appalled to discover her body and the translation. He runs to school and informs Claire that the rest of the text says that the box needs a blood price. Ryan continues to inquire whether Claire has made any wishes, but she evades the question. At one lunch, Paul promises to eat with Claire at his table, but the popular children despise her presence and shun her. Subsequently, a doctored image is seen on social media of Claire picking rubbish in a garbage bin. Upon coming home, she takes the box and desires to be the most popular girl in school. Later on, Paul invites Claire to the party in the evening, and the whole crowd cheers when she walks in. Paul and Claire kiss after dancing sometime. That night, Claire dreams of death of her mother again, but in this dream, the box is present in the dream. Upon her waking, she finds someone outside filming her. Claire attempts to follow the man, but he is faster and makes an escape. Then, someone comes behind her. However, it is only her father. When she attempts to describe the situation, she understands that it all begins with the box. Thus, she conceals it in a vent. The following day, Claire goes to her ex-neighbor. No one opens the door, but she detects a horrible odor. Claire enters and is shocked to see the corpse at the kitchen. At school later, Claire gets an opportunity to sit with the popular kids, but she does not feel at ease and goes to find Meredith and June, who are not happy with the manner she has ignored them. Claire leaves them believing her and narrates them about the murders and the box, which she has chained. Meredith believes it is a coincidence and attributes Claire as selfish in requesting stupid things instead of curing cancer. A few words later, June persuades Claire that it would be good to dispose of the box. Claire goes out to do so. However, she hears Jonathan playing the saxophone and she decides to retain it anyway. At some point later on in a party where Claire is kissing Paul in his car, she discovers the clothes of another woman. Then she checks the phone of Paul and finds a bunch of pictures of her, which makes him the guy who sneaks into her garden. Claire does not get along with him and breaks up with him. That is when the box is opened and a decoration is thrown over a bonfire at the party. Meredith rescues June just in time to save her. In the meantime, Jonathan is heading to a gig when his car breaks down with a flat tire. During his alteration, however, Jonathan narrowly escapes being run over by 2 passing vehicles, but fortunately avoids them. Then he blows out his spare tire and runs into a car landing on it. He nearly gets decapitated, but evades the tire as well. The girls attend a nice hotel after the party, and Claire admits to June that she has not thrown out the box. Meredith uses the elevator, but it breaks down right in front of her. Within several seconds, it opens the door and then drops down again at a perilous rate. The cables snap, and the elevator collapses to the ground, killing Meredith. When the police come, June accuses Claire of the death of Meredith. It is just then that Ryan comes in and takes Claire to his house to show her his research. All these who possessed the box led a very fancy and successful life, but all of them were all surrounded by death, and they ended up self-destructing their own lives in some strange mysteries, as was the case with the man who was found locked up in the basement during a house fire. Their argument is cut short when Claire receives hundreds of text messages Paul sent her urging her to reunite. Claire breaks down, and Ryan has to shout at her when he hears that she has already made 5 wishes, but he agrees to help her destroy the box. They put it in the fire and beat it with a hammer, though to no effect, and Claire slips it back in a vent. On the same night, Claire wakes up in another nightmare only to find Paul in her room holding a knife. He claims that he cannot live without her and goes on to demonstrate this with the knife. Claire shouts and calls an ambulance, which hastily carries him away. The following day, Claire finds out that the box has vanished, just as the police come to seize the fancy house and all the money on the same reason that August has never paid taxes. The family relocates to the old house. Claire returns to school on her bicycle, and Jonathan returns to dumpster diving. Darcy is healed now, so she returns to school as well and once again harasses Claire, making her have another breakdown in the bathroom. In the morning, Claire finds June in possession of the box in her locker. June explains that she stole it to save everyone, but Claire is enraged and decides to take it back, running away. As June tries to prevent her acquisition of the box, they start a fight over the box, and Claire inadvertently pushes June down the stairs, killing her. Ryan notices all this and pursues Claire, who declines to surrender the box and does not heed his warnings. At home, Claire loses her mind and thinks she is going mad. Then, having cried a lot, she wishes her mother had not self-deleted. Just then, a rejuvenated Johanna comes into the room of Claire, and as though she never left behind her, she brings back 2 more daughters. We see the family having a great time on Claire's birthday. Following the party, where Claire sees the new paintings by Johanna and learns about one of the box, which makes her see that her mother was also using the wishes and that her death was the fault of the box. Suddenly, Claire can hear the music in the box and sees Jonathan and Carl working outside. She goes out to the garden to warn them, but it is already too late. The wobbly ladder that Carl is using slips, and he cuts down the chainsaw, accidentally killing Jonathan. Even as Johanna discovers the body of her husband, Claire runs up the stairs and in her final wish requests that she be brought back to the morning that Jonathan discovered the box. The time cuts back and Claire finds herself sharing her bed with Max. She then calls Meredith and reassures her that she is alive as well. It turns out that she also sees the neighbor revived as she dashes out. Then Claire requests Jonathan and Carl to take her dumpster diving with them. It is she who finds the box and conceals it in her bag. Then she goes to school and asks Ryan to bury her bag without opening it. She asks him out and kisses him to return the favor. She attempts to get out but is immediately struck dead by the car of Darcy. A little later, Ryan completes a hole but becomes interested in the bag. He cracks it open and reads the words 7 wishes on the box.